Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
So coronavirus case numbers seem to be moving in the right direction, but some states are relaxing restrictions. We'll chat with some health experts and tell you what they're saying about the moves. But first, 3 of the men accused in the plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer appeared in court. We'll tell you how the trio landed on the FBI's radar in the first place. But we do begin here at noon with breaking news. Governor Whitmer has just announced that more people will be eligible to get their vaccines beginning next week. Here's what she said just a little while ago at an event about Michigan's bridges.
Today, DHHS will be putting out guidance that people who are 55 and older who have a disability, medical, frailty, are going to be eligible to get the vaccine starting March 18th. March 8th. They will be included. 2 weeks later, it will be everyone 55 and up. So for the next 2 weeks, because we have historic number of vaccines in the state, 400,000 have come in. We're deploying Moderna, Pfizer, and the Johnson & Johnson. We want to be able to expand this, and we're in a position to do that.
Our Grant Herms is looking into what this means for people who are already on waiting lists. That's coming up tonight at 5 o'clock right here on Local 4. Also breaking at this hour, Capitol Police say that they have intelligence of a, quote, possible plot by a militia group to breach the U.S. Capitol tomorrow. We're going to keep you posted as we learn more, but this news all comes at the same time the acting police chief is testifying before a House subcommittee. We'll share what we're learning from that hearing coming up in just a moment.
Here we go.
Attorneys for 3 of the men accused of supporting a plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer go head-to-head with state prosecutors questioning the description of the Wolverine Watchmen as a, quote, terrorist organization. Now, before that happened, prosecutors revealed how the group ended up on the FBI's radar in the first place. Local 4 defender Sean Lade joins us now live with more on that. Sean?
Everett, great to see you. Good afternoon, everyone. Absolutely fascinating court hearing going on right now, focused on these 3 Michigan men. Pete Musico, the founder of the Wolverine Watchmen, his son-in-law, Joe Morrison, along with Paul Bellar. He's from Milford. The FBI laying out their case step by step, saying they never heard of the Wolverine Watchmen until one of these guys created a Facebook group.
In court this morning, the FBI revealing the entire investigation that led to the alleged plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer and launch a deadly attack on the state capitol came from a Facebook page run by a founding member of the Wolverine Watchmen. They call themselves a militia, a patriot, anti-government group. The FBI in court calling them a terrorist organization. And the FBI says their goal was to break the group up. The FBI began monitoring the Wolverine Watchmen Facebook group as defendants like Pete Musico openly recruited members. The FBI agent in charge reading from one of Musico's Facebook posts.
If you want to actually train and be prepared with the group, now would be a better time to start than never. We already had a field training day coming up this month. There's a vetting process before getting into the actual group, but as long as you're cool, we're cool.
Back here live, local attorney representing Paul Bellar in this case, saying the feds have nothing on his client, nothing here to convict. So this battle in court will continue. But keep in mind, another local man, a defendant in this case, Ty Garbin, he's from out in Brighton. He's already pled guilty and is willing to testify against the other men. This hearing is still going on. Evrod, we're monitoring it. We'll have much more fascinating testimony at 5 and 6. Back to you.
Sean, we know you'll stay on top of it. Right now, we want to get to breaking news here at noon. Even more breaking news, I should say. A Canadian judge has found a man guilty who admitted to using a van to kill 10 pedestrians in Toronto. Alec Manassian faced 10 counts of first-degree murder and 16 counts of attempted murder for the April 2018 attack. Now, his lawyer argued that he didn't know what he was doing and that it was wrong because he has autism spectrum disorder, a stance that angered autism rights advocates. Turning our attention now to the coronavirus numbers, the United States has passed 28,724,000 coronavirus cases, and more than 517,000 people have died from the virus. These are numbers from the Johns Hopkins University database. Here at home in our state, we expect an update on numbers a little bit later this afternoon. We'll have that for you on air, online, and through our Click on Detroit mobile app. Meanwhile, 2 pharmaceutical giants are teaming up together to help in the fight against COVID-19. The coronavirus numbers seem to be moving in the right direction. Some states choosing to relax restrictions. Officials with the CDC, though, say that it might be a little too dangerous to open up too soon. Morgan Chesky breaks it all down for us from Austin, Texas.
It is a major COVID turning point on both the federal and state level. President Biden saying that every American will have necessary vaccine by May. That is 2 months earlier than initially anticipated. The president saying that by invoking the Defense Production Act, two competitors, Merck and Johnson & Johnson, are now able to speed up production to make sure everyone gets that vital dose. In the meantime, here in Texas, the governor ending the statewide mask mandate and saying that all businesses can now open with 100% capacity starting exactly 1 week from today. For some businesses, that news can't come soon enough. Others feel it is too much too soon. The governor is saying that about 7 million Texans should be fully vaccinated within the next week. Morgan Chesky, NBC News, Austin.
All right, Morgan, thank you for that. The White House Coronavirus Task Force actually just wrapped up a meeting, and they say that the recent decline in cases and deaths have stalled. They were asked about the decision made in Texas, and here's a listen and a look at what they had to say.
I think we at the CDC have been very clear that now is not the time to release all restrictions. I do think that, as I said in my remarks, the next month or two is really pivotal in terms of how this pandemic goes. As we scale up vaccination, we really do need to decrease the amount of virus that is circulating as we're trying to vaccinate all of the public. I will also note that, every individual is empowered to do the right thing here, regardless of what the states decide for personal health.
So the group also stressed that they believe that masks are important, and they urged all the governors and mayors to keep those mandates in place. In other news this afternoon, Stellantis releases its first quarter earnings, first earnings report since it was created in January from the merger of Fiat Chrysler and Peugeot maker PSA Group. UAW workers with Stellantis are going to be getting a profit-sharing check of more than $8,000, and that is scheduled for March 15th. The checks are a result of Fiat Chrysler's performance in last year. Exact payment amounts, that's going to be determined on individual employees' compensated hours. Nearly 43,000 employees are eligible to get the payment. Governor Whitmer is in Dearborn, as we mentioned, discussing that bridge bundling proposal of her executive budget recommendation. And she toured the I-94 Miller Rotunda Bridge this morning. The proposal would address bridge repair and make a new investment in the state's infrastructure. The Miller Rotunda Bridge would be the biggest repair project in the Bridge Fund Lane program.
This is something that we've got to get done. There's 500 supports that have been added to this bridge over the last few years, and it just shows that we've got to rebuild, and we've got to rebuild back better and stronger, and this is one part of a resilient infrastructure we need in Michigan.
The governor's budget would allocate $300 million in one-time payments to repair 120 local bridges all across the state. Now let's switch gears a bit and get you updated on your forecasts as we take a live look out at the big house through our sky cam there in Ann Arbor. Meteorologist Brandon Rue standing by with a look at what we can expect, which includes temperatures going.
I think we're going to exceed expectations, Evrod. This morning on Local 4 News today, we had a little cloud cover coming in a little sooner and could keep our highs a little below 50, but we are already at 50 at the big house in Ann Arbor, and our live camera here downtown Detroit, 48 degrees. We will see a high of about 51 with some increasing clouds coming with a cool front, Evrod, and that will change temps up and down we go, but there's a little more up than down.
Well,
coming up.
We like the sound of that, Brandon. All right, we'll check in with you in just a little bit. As I mentioned at the top of the show here, right now the Senate Judiciary Committee is holding another hearing on the January 6th deadly insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. The commanding general of the D.C. National Guard is among those testifying, and he says that he got immediate approval from Army leadership in the summer of 2020 to deal with Black Lives Matter protests in D.C. But then on January 6th, he could not get immediate approval. He says that the refusal to sign off before January 6th was unusual.
At 5 o'clock, I decided, hey, there's got to be an approval coming. So get on the buses, get the equipment on, get on the buses and just wait. And then a few minutes after that, we did get the approval. I was on a secure video conference when the Army leadership conveyed to me that the Secretary of Defense had authorized the employment of the National Guard at the Capitol. So my timeline has 1708, 5:08 p.m. is when we wrote down that we had approval, and that was about 8 people in the office with me when I got that.
How many guardsmen were ready? You said right immediately, earlier in the afternoon.
About 155.
So you could have sent 155 much earlier. What would have been the impact of sending those 155 right around that 2 o'clock time frame?
Well, based on my experience with the summer, and I have 39 years in the National Guard. I was in the Florida Guard, Hurricane Andrew. I've been involved in civil disturbances. So I believe that number could have made a difference. We could have helped extend the perimeter and help push back the crowd.
Well, that hearing is going to continue. And we'll have updates for you on later editions of Local 4 News.
Vaccine trials are now underway in children. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, I'll explain how the vaccines will be tested in kids and why some parents are not worried about their children being the first to get vaccinated.